Greetings, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Ad Nastana. Pleasure to be back with you here on Points of Light Radio, and it's a pleasure to be swinging back to an organization that we haven't covered so far this year. That's one of the Loyal Orders. Now, we've covered a number of Loyal Orders this year, but we have not covered, so far this year, we have not covered the Loyal Orange Lodge. We've covered the Loyal Orange Lodge numerous times in other years, almost too numerous to mention now in the 4 years we've been broadcasting Points of Light Radio. Just to refamiliarize ourselves, the Loyal Orange Lodge is a sectarian organization that was founded in Loch Gall County, Armagh, Northern Ireland in the year 1795. And as you always hear me say, these are approximate dates. There were Orange societies within Europe and in other parts of the United Kingdom prior to 1795. The Loyal Orange Lodge commemorates the victories of King William of Orange and his forces in Ireland in the early 1690s, especially the Battle of the Boyne. To join, one must be Protestant and a believer in the supremacy of Jesus Christ. In the February 5th segment of Points of Light Radio, we covered a number of the prime ministers who were involved in Orangeism here in Canada, and you saw others featured as well prior to this segment, other prime ministers of other countries who were believed to be involved in the Orange Lodge. My guest for this segment is someone who reached out to me on my Points of Light Radio Facebook page. His name is Les Graydon. You've seen him here before when he was here talking about the Royal Arch Purple on January 29th of this year. This is a segment, essentially a second part two of a conversation I had with him. Brother Graydon is the secretary of Magheraveely, Loyal Orange Lodge 467 in Northern Ireland. He's also a member, as you've heard him say before, of the Royal Arch Purple, Royal Black Preceptory, and the Apprentice Boys of Derry. Right? Like I said, this isn't the first time you've seen him here. It won't be the last time you see him here. But, as I always ask you, are you still thirsty for knowledge? Are you still searching for the light? Then you just trim your lamp and follow me. So, Brother Graydon, welcome to Points of Light Radio.
Yeah.
Now, you are the secretary.
Thanks for having me.
You are the secretary of the Magheraveely Lodge, number 467, as I understand it. I hope I said that properly. Is that how you pronounce it?
It's Magheraveely.
Magheraveely.
467, Newtown Butler District.
Yeah.
Yes, we're Newtown Butler District, County Fermanagh.
Okay. Now, why don't you tell my listeners and viewers about yourself first?
I've been in the Orange Lodge for about 17 years now. I'm also a member of I'm a secretary in the Orange Lodge. I'm on the district of the Orange Lodge. I am the secretary of the Purple chapter of the Arch or of the Lodge. I am also a member of I'm the chaplain of the RBP, the local RBP. I am a member of the Apprentice Boys of Derry, and for me around here, the Lodge is a very community spirited thing. You know, it's I live in a small rural part of Northern Ireland, and the village has 250 people, and we have 2 Orange Lodges, we have 2 bands, we have the Black Lodge as well. You know, so it's part of life.
Okay, so now 467, where exactly is it in Northern Ireland? Is it down near the border? Or?
We are a mile from the Republic of Ireland, which is it would have considered in the bad days, it would have been considered a quite a contentious and dangerous place to live and be an Orangeman, but times have changed
So you're in the Republic, you said?
or are changing. No, we're in the north, but we're almost in the Republic,
You're in that district, yeah. Okay. And
Yeah.
so now, how do you think the Orange Lodge is doing over there as far as numbers wise? Is it gaining members? Is it losing members these days? How is it?
I think there's been a resurgence in the last couple of years after COVID and stuff. Well, for us here in Fermanagh, we have our lodges. Our lodge, we have our numbers have went up massively. We're putting another new man in next week. We have 40 men in the lodge, and and then there's another lodge a couple of hundred yards away with 30 men. So, but when you go up the country to the Belfast, where the numbers are in decline up there for some reason, but we're doing well here.
Mm. Now, I understand you have children in the Loyal Orders as well.
I do. My son, he is 24 now. He came through the Junior Orange Lodge, and now he's in my own adult lodge. He's been in that now for the last since he was 16. Because if you've been in the juniors, you can join the senior lodge at 16. And my 6-year-old daughter is now in the junior lodge.
Oh, that's open to both boys and girls, is it?
You know, yeah, 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 yeah. It's
Okay.
it's and it's I think that's a lot to do. There's been a resurgence over here with junior lodge in the last 4 or 5 years, and I think that is now, it's moved on into adult lodge, that we're getting them from juniors straight into adult, which is you need to get them young.
Yeah, very true. Now, you say, as you put it, you have a big interest in local Orange history. So, what did you learn
Yeah.
about Orange history as you've studied it?
Well, like my own private lodge has been in existence from 1798,
Wow.
which and just recently I sort of undertook to trace every single lodge master and where the lodge sat, and I have just tied it all together. I had to go through newspaper articles from hundreds of years ago, and and just try and bring the people from the past back into life,
Yeah.
and stories from say 1800 that you come across about the lodge, or it's and I've sort of done the same for all the local lodges in the district. It's we live in the Newtown Butler district, where the battle in Newtown Butler took place in 1689, and arguably one of the most decisive battles in the Williamite Wars. The famous saying is the men of Derry saved the city, the men of Enniskillen saved the kingdom. We're
Uh,
the men of Enniskillen. It's
okay.
it's
So,
but
Deary gets all the
it's
glory, but Inniskillen.
yeah, yeah. And Enniskillen and Newtown Butler was a perhaps more decisive victory for the Williamite War, and that happened less than a mile and a half from my house. It's
Uh,
when I look out my window here to the right, I can see my Orange Lodge. Where that's how much of a community we are here.
Whew, wow. But would you say, with your studies, would you say that the order, its rituals, and the meaning of its rituals and everything have evolved over the years? Would you say that?
Oh, it definitely would. I mean, it has to keep evolving to keep in with the modern world. I mean, if things were happening that was happening 100 years ago, I don't think people would want to be part of it. You couldn't encourage young people to be part of these things. But I think that there's no secrets anymore. Everything's out there on the internet too, isn't it? For good or bad. But no, and the same names, like my wife's father and her grandfather and great grandfather and my own great great grandfather. Their names have came down the generations. It's the same families, the core families, for 225 years. Holding it together.
Wow.
It's,
And like you say too,
and
though.
I sort of like to.
I love when you
pass that
say that
knowledge down, you
because,
know?
yeah, I love when you say that though, because people talk about it. I keep saying this about, these so-called secret societies we belong to. Yeah, we have our secrets, but most of them would be meaningless to an outsider. It is about that fellowship that you talk about, that common bond in the history of it.
Oh,
That's what
definitely.
matters. Like I meet in one of the oldest buildings in Strathcona County here in the city. And you can feel that history when I bring people in there. They feel that history in that building. It's
Yeah.
like a pioneer times type thing. You know what I mean? And we have this group. I've talked about this before on here that they're called the ghost walkers. They go around old parts of the city and they do tours and they have a guide there. And one night they're standing outside of our lodge and I said, well, don't just stand there. It's a cold night. Come on in, come down to our lounge, have a chat with us. And they're like, we can do that? Oh, what did you think? Right? And they came in, they had a drink with us and everything and talked, and then they moved along their way on their tour. And they were so shocked they could do that. But that's there's no secret that way. It wouldn't be a secret if we didn't let people in, right?
Well, definitely. And I think that, letting people in and putting yourself out there on social media, it's the only way you're going to get new members or get people to come and join these things in this day and age.
Mm.
If you stay behind closed doors, eventually the thing's finished and it's over.
Yeah. Or you just wait to March on the 12th. I mean, that's just one day a year. What about the other days of the year? Yeah.
Oh, well, we are, I mean, me and a few of us, we're out. We do a lot of marches every year. It's
I believe
church
that.
parades, and it's never ending. Like we were even out in December. We were up for the Apprentice Boys of Derry for the shutting the gates on the first Saturday in December.
Wow.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop all year.
No.
Well,
what drew you to the Loyal Orange Lodge, though? What was it in your family? Sounds like it was.
It was. Well, I mean, my own dad wasn't in it, but my grandparents and great grandparents would have been members of it, But my wife's family have all been. I moved where my wife's from, as you do,
Mm-hmm.
and the lodge here, her family's been in it for hundreds of years. The flute band is tied to our lodge. Her grandfather was one of the original members in 1929, so I could not be part of it, I've put myself into it.
And what did membership of the Loyal Orders? What has it really done for you?
Well, I honestly think that it's put me part of the community. Like I find myself that you've got something that you really belong to. It's and people that looks out for each other, and and then I strive to bring new people in
Me too.
to do community days, community events. To just when we live where we live is quite a rural area. That people were under siege here for hundreds of years. There was a lot of tragedy here, up
Mm-hmm.
until recent years,
The trouble.
and yeah, and people have to. And the likes of the Orange family has kept people together through that. It is the community.
Yeah.
It's so that's what it is to me. It's community.
Yeah. Very true. Very, very true. Well, brother, thank you for your time today, and all the best to you and Loyal Orange Lodge 467.
Perfect. Thank you.
That was Brother Les Graydon, brothers and sisters, from the Magheraveely Loyal Orange Lodge 467. I'll ask you again, wasn't it fun to have someone from the mother country of Orangeism on here? Right? I love Brother Graydon's passion for Orange history, just studying the history of that Loyal Orders. Like he talks about those, even parts of the history of that area that people don't know about, those battles. Everyone, Orangemen especially, can all talk about the battle for Derry, but there were other battles that basically save the kingdom, as he put it at that time, right? And it's good to hear that Loyal Orange Lodge 467 is growing, right? They're picking up new and younger members. Even the junior lodge is growing. I love that. The future of Orangeism looks bright when you hear news like that, right? And I just, like I said, I've been trying to get someone from Northern Ireland on here for, there again, from the Orange in Northern Ireland since Points of Light Radio, there again, has started for going on 4 years now. This is an accomplishment. We're starting off 2026 really, really well. We're going to be learning, hang on to your seats, brothers and sisters, because we're going to be learning a lot of new things. I really have that feeling. This is going to be a year of learning, right? 2026 is going to be a great year for learning about fraternalism as we move forward, right? But I'm afraid we'll have to part for now. As always, before I go, I want to remind you that this podcast is available on both YouTube and Spreaker. Please share, like, and subscribe when viewing Points of Light Radio on YouTube. I also welcome, and I do want to see more in 2026. Let's also make this a year for input. I also welcome your comments and input, right? I also want to draw your attention, before we go any further, to the PayPal link in the detail section of this segment. You can hit on that, make a voluntary donation to Points of Light Radio. We will use that to move the podcast forward. You can see the link to my Facebook page at facebook.com/Points of Light Radio. My X handle is at PO Light Radio. My Twitter handle is at PO Light, my Bluesky handle is at POLightRadio.bsky.social. You can also see the link to my Spotify channel. Brothers and sisters, it's been a pleasure bringing this segment to you today. And until we meet again, just step into the light.